Hey, Shalom, Akim. Your brother Rutters are Allah from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, want to give praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakachodash. Double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone, blessing to the hopeful and sincere elect. Brothers well know the situation over there in Silicon Valley with the bank, basically going into self-combusting, basically going into bankruptcy, needing financial aid, worldwide, even over here from the UK. They're asking for financial aid to help them with the Silicon Valley Bank and all their loss of all these different business accounts, predominantly in IT startup companies and so on and so forth, from small SMEs to major companies that invested in that bank and hold different accounts there. Are basically signs of the times, man. That this whole system's about to implode on itself, and this is part of the agenda of the wicked elite. As they say, they want to bring in a new system, a new world order. Goes into the image of the beast, where everything's going to go digital, man. The digital transformation of the banking industries and the financial industries in general, and the economy, new form of buying and selling and monitoring their money, basically on a global scale, is this is a clear example of these devils stirring up the pot, so to speak, and the change from a paperback system, so to speak, to a cashless society, more or less a digital society, man. The digital transformation. And you got other countries as well at the moment pushing the digital transformation, like China, Ukraine, and different European nations, Sweden and all that are adopting that new digital transformation, regarding the financial economy. And this situation, this order ab chaos situation that's took off in America with the Silicon Valley Bank, is definitely going to lead to that happening, man, on a major scale. That this is like basically Esau testing the waters, the wicked elite, testing the waters to see how the people respond, and how quickly they can change things over to a new digitalized system, man. And it's coming by way of all these crashes and all that, man. And ultimately this is the judgment of the Lord, because the Lord's breaking down this society also. I'm going to read one or two precepts, because Esau thinks he's in control, but the Most High is the ultimate puppet master, man, and he's the one that puts the thoughts and the intents of these leaders of these nations to do what they're doing upon the earth. So even though Esau has their agenda, the Illuminati, so to speak, the so-called enlightened ones have their agenda on the left-hand side, they're really doing the work of the Lord to fulfill his will on the left-hand side. And because everything's about fulfilling the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, which in turn is what? Fulfilling of prophecy. And so this is definitely a big thing, even though they're trying to make it look like it's a small thing. But this is going to be a small, this is just a small catalyst. Should I say, this is a catalyst for a major situation to happen off the back of this, man, And you're going to hear more and more stories about all these banks imploding on themselves, man, and them needing financial aid from other countries and so on and so forth. So this is how, this trend is probably going to, take place in 2023. Abel Ratters are anyway, Lord's will, we hope and pray it does happen. So we know that we're getting closer and closer to that time of the end. So Silicon Valley Bank imploded in just a single day, and it is just and it could just be the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, because Esau's plotting out here, the wicked elite. It talks about mischief being in their hands, so they're plotting and plowing away on ways to destabilize the financial system, especially over there in Babylon the Great, aka America, and basically cause the whole financial system of the world to implode on itself, man, so they can bring in this new world order. But at the end of the day, all this is going to backfire on them as well. It says in the last days that these devils will be in straits, man. So everything's not going to go according to their plan. But they are going to establish the MOT to the B, which is the RFID CHIP, but there's going to be a lot of hurdles, like in their way, so to speak. This is James 5:1. It says, "Go to you now, you rich men, and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." And that's what we're in the time of, these miseries that are going to come upon these wicked elite, the rich men of the earth. It says, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. It says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Yeah, namely, with the petrodollar, the American dollar, that's cankering away, rusting away, so to speak. It's been a witness against them, for the other nations. Now you got all these other Eastern nations, Middle Eastern nations, like Iran and Saudi Arabia, and Apostle Elder Aramla was going into earlier, banding together, man. You got Iran, who just or is it China, that just basically dumped all their dollars, and is basically wanting to do business with China, with the one. So all these other nations are seeing the cankering, the rusting of America, and that power that petrodollar once had, that world reserve currency, and how it's basically falling apart. It says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. And shall eat your flesh, as it were, with fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days. And this shows you that we're definitely in the last days, man, of this Edomite empire ruling upon the earth. The Lord's about to return their wickedness upon their own heads. As it says in the head of the subheading of the chapter, James the 5th chapter, it says misuse of riches, man. And that's what these devils have done over the years. They've misused the riches. Why? Because of that pride. The pride have deceived them that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks. Talking about Esau, Edom. Because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. So they misused and misused their power, so to speak. Zephaniah 1:11 says, "Howl, ye inhabitants of Maktesh." And Maktesh represents what? The marketplace. Where all these you got the city of London and all that. Over here in the UK, which is basically the financial branch for these wicked elites. One of them anyway. And you got the American branch as well, which is what, like Washington DC and so on and so forth. So all these financial markets. The Lord saying, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off." So these markets are going to be affected worldwide, man. They're all linked together through this beast system. That's why they all have to come to each other's aid. If someone systems crashes or goes down, they all got to come to each other's aid, because they're banded together through this beast system. But still, that's not gonna help, because the Lord said that Babylon should not be healed. It's gonna go into perdition ultimately by way of the nuclear fire. It says, "And it shall come to pass that at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles," which Jerusalem represents the people before it's a place. Talk about the 12 tribes of Israel, "and punish the men that are settled on their lease." It says that say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. So that anyone, any Jake out here that's got, settled on their lease, basically thinking that this place is gonna go on forever, being complacent, putting their, all their treasures on earth where moth and rust doth corrupt, roughly paraphrasing. Instead of looking upon the heavens and then praying to the Lord to deliver us from this hellhole that we're in, this place of pollution. Like I told you in the book of Micah, the 2nd chapter, man. They're going to be part of the soil. They're going to be made part of the soil, man. They're going to be made, they're going to be destroyed. Them that have hope in this place going on forever. Them that hoping, as it tells you in Isaiah the 30th chapter, they shall all fail together. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and put all your so-called riches and trust in this place, because the Lord said the fashion of this world is going to pass away. great noise and destruction, man, by way of the ICBM missiles. That's the times that we're in, you know. Our last precept, I'm going to read the close out. This is Ezekiel 28:18. This is, thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic, which also goes in what? To what? The market, the merchant cities, you know, the merchandise, you know, the iniquity of thy traffic is talking about their financial system, basically, that's built by fraud, that's backed by fraud. So therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, it shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth in the sight of them that behold thee. Yeah, so that's all this, you know, financial destruction of the destabilization of these governments. Ultimately, it's going to lead to a nuclear war, man. It's going to be part of that nuclear destruction, you know, especially against America, because everyone's going to see America's totally weak, and there's blood in the water, and there's other sharks that are looking at America, even though they're the great white shark. There's other sharks in the water, and they smell the blood that America's getting weak, so they're all going to turn against America, you know, in these last days, with all these different mergers that happen with different nations that are against America. And that third world war is going to take place, man, very soon in our lifetime, in this lifetime that we're living. You know, this is not a far cry from what's happening right now, but right before our eyes. You know, because everyone's seeing that America's getting weaker. They're not as strong as they once were. They still got a strong military and all that. And regarding WMDs, they still got their weapons of mass destruction, but these other nations are building up their artillery as well. It says scriptures talk about let the weak say I'm strong, man. You know, and these other nations in the Middle East, so to speak, the Saudi Arabians and Iran and all that, the Persians, the Carmenians, as Apostle Aram went into the dragons of Arabia, they're banding together to come against who? The West, namely America, Babylon the Great, you know, NATO and the EU. So, you know, shit, and then China as well, Russia mainly, the main counterpart of that. So things are going to start popping off, man. And this destruction of the banking industries is definitely going to be a catalyst for that, you know. And then, you know, so we got to keep our eyes peeled, especially on these banking stories and the financial systems and all that, because Esau's trying to bring in that new world order, man. So he's got to cripple the banks, cripple the whole system altogether, so he can bring in this new digital age, digital transformation. You know, by the way, the CBDCs and, you know, digital currencies and so on and so forth. So we're gonna keep our eyes on this, man, this topic. You know, especially with the SVB, and see what other banks start imploding next, man. You know, and pray for the destruction of this place more and more. But anyway, I'm gonna close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba Hashem Rachach Kodash. Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.